Okay guys, in this video I'm going to explain what this code is doing, and we're going to learn how to write stuff to this file. So first thing you want to do is, let's include some stuff here. Alright, so we want to include IO stream, that's your standard input output stream for C and C out. Your F stream, that's for a file stream, and your string class. We want to say using namespace standard, so we don't have to keep writing standard : before we do everything. So step one here is create the file. Easy enough. Step two is open the file. So we're going to call this numbers. Let me explain why I put this in iOS out. Check this out. If I cut this out, right, and I run this file, you'll notice here that numbers.out does not appear because I don't have it yet, right? But if I run this, you'll notice that it'll create our file. So this right here will create the file if it doesn't exist, okay? Now, how do we print to it? Right here. We say file. This looks a lot like cout, right? This looks a lot like cout, right? Hello there. But cout hello there prints over here to the console. The name of the file will print in the name of the file. So let's go ahead and we can delete this for now. You get rid of this. So now that we have file writing and reading covered, well, file writing covered, we'll only cover that in this tutorial. Let's go ahead and ask the user for some numbers. We'll print them out to our file, and then we will find the average. So we're going to say int num1, comma, num2, num3, num4. And we're going to say cout, enter 4 integer values, end line. Okay? And we'll say cin. We want to get num1. We want to get num2. We want to get num3. And finally, we want to get num4. All right. Let's also create a variable up here, average. And what we're going to say is we're going to say average is going to equal num1 plus num2 plus num3 plus num4 divided by the number of numbers, which is 4. Now remember, if we want to keep the decimal point, we're just going to put double here. We're going to convert 1 to a double. So double over int will give us the decimal. So now we'll say this. Ready? We're going to say the name of the file, which was file. This is what we're referring it to, file. We'll say the numbers you entered were, and we'll say num1, and put a little comma. Make sure this looks nice. And num1, num2. And I'm just going to copy and paste this. All right, and that, perfect. This is num2, num3, num4, and let's go ahead and put a semicolon there. So yeah, it'll just give us a list, and we'll say file. And let's actually do an end line. And we'll say file, the average of the values equals average. And you'll see nothing here. Let's go ahead and then we'll close the file. We want to make sure we close the file. So what we do is we open the file, and we open it with iOS out to make sure that we could create it if it doesn't exist. we create our variables, we create our average, we get 4 numbers from the user, we sum them up, divide them by 4, we list them in the file, we put a little space, and then we list the average. So let's go ahead and run it. So I'll put, I don't know, 55, 72, 61, and 49. Now if we go to our file here, the numbers we entered were 55, 72, and that's correct. The average of the values is 59.25. Now you can verify if you want to, but that's going to be the average. The other thing we shouldn't do, you probably don't want to put a comma after the last value. You don't really need to. And there you go. So what we've done this time is we've done pretty much the same program as we did last time, except we wrote our output to a file. You know, maybe you want to put a heading or something. So let's do this. Let's put a little, we're going to say file. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put a couple tabs just to move the text over, and we'll say something like this. This is an escape sequence that just puts in 5 spaces per tab. And we'll say finding average. And we'll say, we could actually do this. This is the same as using endl, but what's happening is we're putting in 2 new lines. So maybe we want to put in 3, right? Instead of saying endl, this does the same thing. So let's run the file, and you'll notice it'll rewrite what's in there. So you'll see in a second. AJ. Sorry. So this is what we have here. So we have our 5 values, finding average, and we notice that we get a couple of tabs here, which is really good. We have finding the average, and then we have the average of our values is, and there you go. So you could use this to get a really nice looking output file to make a receipt. We'll learn how to actually format output to make it really nice next week. So there you go. Hopefully this makes sense. 3 main steps: include the file, create the file, open the file with this argument, so it'll create it. If you don't do that, it won't create it. And then, you know, do your regular stuff. So thanks for watching.